What's going on, people? Welcome to the Tuesday Night Flex and KG show. How you lot doing? Hope you lot are good. Another show from us tonight. International break is coming to an end. And it's been a bit of a crazy day. Been a tough day. I'm just gonna address it. I've got myself in the background, which is so annoying. Yeah, I'm back. Um, it's been a crazy day, emotional day. With the passing of Claude today.
Yeah,
I had to start by saying our thoughts are with his family, and everyone who is associated with Claude and had the pleasure of meeting Claude, and just people in general who love Claude, who have never met him around the world, who
yeah,
just understand what a cool guy he is. I've got to spend a lot of time around Claude, and when you're, especially conversations you have off camera, and what a guy. And today is one of them ones where I guess it's definitely hit me. It's been hard. And he's a great guy. He's a great guy. So I wanted to start off by saying that. Of course, we're going to do our show and stuff like that. But yeah, just big up Claude and big up AFTV, and I know they'll be
yeah,
hurt and his family. You know what I mean?
yeah. Literally, I agree with all those sentiments. I love the fact that the club did what they did with the little message. I just thought that was nice. Obviously, it's not everything, but it's something, Yeah, usually I'm in here with the bombs and stuff, but again, for me, I'm new to the community, but like when you talk about fan reaction and all that stuff, you got to put Claude on Mount Rushmore, fam. He's
He's
one
up
of the
there.
Yeah, like when you talk about the guys that have, like deserve a space up there, 100%. His videos, it just like it's everything in it.
And
So
it's all genuine. You get a lot of stuff of actors and paid actors, and you just do this for clicks and views. And listen, eh, Claude is completely the opposite of all
you,
of that.
you feel it when he's talking. So
It's just real.
again,
He just loves his football. He loves his club,
yeah,
um, like all of us do. Probably even more, I would say,
yeah,
than
yeah,
the
yeah.
average. And he's
Him
just
and Ty, and that's what I'm saying. Him and Ty show to even like
100%,
love to tie man out in this moment because
100%.
that's his guy as well. Do you know what I mean? And it's not. I know people are weirdos. Like some people are getting into like the other stuff that's happened, and it's not important right now. Do you know what I mean? I think the main thing you focus on is, what, the good that he done. You know what I mean? And yeah, so
100%, 100%. So our
that,
thoughts are with him.
I thought with him, but I just definitely right to open up the show like that. But bro, let's go.
Yeah, 100%. We got a lot to talk about tonight. There's this Jadon Sancho thing. This is the Jadon Sancho transfer hope is what we've gone with today. And the reason why we say that, which is the reports are basically saying that you know we are going to go back for him at a cut price. We value him between 50 and 60 million now, and last year we wouldn't write the check for 120 million pounds. Obviously, you guys have seen the interview with James Cooper that I did, and he was basically saying there's no chance that Man United are gonna go for him. KG stuck. He's just literally stuck. Literally stuck. Look at him. He's just stuck. I'll carry on while he brings himself back because I don't know where he's gone. Where is he? Is he there? Is he there? Is he not there? I don't know. He's gone. But yeah, for me, I'll wait for KG to come back. But they're basically saying that they value him at 50 to 60 million, which I can't see that happening in a million years because they're trying to get rid of Haaland, or they're trying to sort out getting great money for Erling Haaland, which is one thing because the release clause kicks in with him. Are they really going to try and sell Jadon Sancho on top of that as well? Now, yes, the COVID situation and what's gone on with COVID, I agree. The price of Sancho will have to come down. That is the truth. But are Dortmund really going to let go of two of their best players at this time? I don't think so. I cannot see it happening for the life of me. Obviously, speaking to James yesterday, he was saying that he can't see us going in for Jadon Sancho because he's now not the guy. Do you know what I mean? And I know that sounds maybe a little bit knee jerkish. Like you can't just almost say that he's not the guy just like that. In one season, just because he's had injuries or his form hasn't been good, or Dortmund haven't been playing so well and have picked it up recently. there's loads of factors to it, but to think that we are going to go back for him when we've got only about 100 million to play with, as James was talking about, and also about what you got to realize is we got a lot of positions to fill, and then on top of that, when we didn't get Jadon Sancho, what did we go and do? Well, we went and spent 34-ish million pounds on Amad Diallo. Let me just adjust my camera, guys. Let me just do that. Yeah, that's what we went on to do. We went to sort out Amad Diallo. So for me, I can't see how we're then going to go and spend on Jadon Sancho. I can't see it, and I don't see how Dortmund, unless someone really does stump up the money, I suppose, then they can't say no. But if they're in a position where they're going to be losing Erling Haaland to, God forbid, Manchester City or a big team of that ilk, how are they going to afford to lose Jadon Sancho as well? Let me know what you guys think in the free seats. Pay 70 million and get in 30 million for Torres, Jefferson. KG went for a run, says Yuanda. Yeah, I think he's on some Tesco Wi-Fi. I don't know where he's gone. He's out there. He is. He's just coming back in the bottom of my screen. I can see him. Not Sancho saga again. Exactly. And are Man United going to want to go into that saga again? I'm not so sure. Are you back with us?
Hey, I don't know what was going on. People were saying I was in 2D, yeah? And no, but they were saying that, is my connection, is it clear now?
You was clear to me the first time, but...
Really? So I tried to switch to the... Anyway, forget that. Let's go, Sancho.
Yeah. Well, I've basically had my say. So, what's your thoughts on us basically saying we value Sancho at 50 to 60 million pounds? Dortmund are trying to basically get the best price for Haaland. Are they going to let two of their best players go in the same thing and look at the positions that we got to get sorted? How do you see it?
We heard what's his name said. We heard what James Cooper said. No one's coming, bruv. Like, when I was listening to James, I was like, I knew this. So when you're talking about Sancho, how has he gone down in value? What did they say, 50 to 60 million?
Man United view him. I can't get my words out today. Man United view him more as a 50 to 60 million pound player.
So you're telling me, Man United have decided with their new technical director, and all these other them have said, hey, this guy, he's gone down in value half. They slashed it by half. How? What's made them? These guys are in the next phase of the Champions League. How? That's all I want to know. So,
okay, are they on? I'm going to be them. Are they saying it's been another? We wouldn't give them 120 million pound last year. There's been no fans in all stadiums across Europe for them and us.
Mm-hmm.
They need the money. No one else can afford 120 million euros. It's not going to happen. And they will have to accept it. I'm just saying, is that how maybe they're thinking?
No, but I love the way we're telling them how they think their business is. It's my player. You don't get to tell. You tried that last summer. This is the stupidness of this club, because we'll be like, there's a chance of him coming. No, because the club told you before, this is how much he cost. You don't get to come back and say, well, we think he cost this much. Bro, he's not your player. Either pay what we say he's valued at or go away. So what they've done, this is just paper talk once again, because they want us to get excited, because, they probably saw James Cooper done too much on the, when he came here, he was talking freely, fam. He said, listen, 100 million, and that gets you what? That gets you two players. And then he was honest. He said, we signed Ahmad.
That's what I mean.
What are we talking about Sancho for? And the fact that, because there was so much to unpack in that interview, like, I tried not to get angry, because I said to myself, you know what? This is what this club is now. The fact that we got the sporting director that I was telling everybody about, that I was saying, don't get excited. I don't care if he's been here for 7 years. I'm not excited by this. The same sporting director has looked at our midfield and said, we don't need a defensive midfielder. How? He can see it. Like, if you're a sporting director, where's the holes in our team? And would you not say defensive midfielder is what we should be seriously looking at? Or does he think that Matic Matic, Fred, and McTominay's enough. Because if he does, then we need to get rid of him now, bruv. Murto out, fam. If that's what he's doing, it is. If you can't look at the midfield and say that's a big issue, yeah, I don't know what you're doing here. I don't know why they even gave you the title, because clearly, like they say, my knowledge of ball is bad, and it probably is, yeah. But Murto, even worse.
Useless. Absolutely useless.
I'm done. Listen, and obviously today you got to watch my emotions because I'm all over the place, innit? So I could say a madness, but I'm just tired. I'm tired of, like, I'm scratching my head on the Fletcher deal. I'm scratching my head with the 100 million. I don't know what that means. Why? So you've given him about the same amount, but he's achieving more. If he goes on and wins the Europa League, surely there's some prize money that can free up extra funds. But then we hear James say in the meeting, in the interview, Tampa Bay Buccaneers is the kind of thing that they really care about. This is different, and we can see it. It's clear to the fans. So it's sad times. And now I'm unsure with the carrying on, because I got into the biggest argument with some Ollie In fans, super Ollie In fans, saying there's progress. Literally, they said, big man, there's serious progress. Trust the team. They're putting in infrastructure. It's started saying all this other stuff. And then now, with no money coming in, can Ollie do his job with no money? Can Ollie win us the league with 100 million? That's a question I ask you, Flex.
No.
So what we doing? Can Ollie win the league? Wait, hold on. Let's say, because he's going to get a 3-year contract, and they'll give him 100 million a time, probably 100 to 60 million each transfer window. Can he bridge the gap and win the league? Win us the league?
100 million spent right can get you two. It will get you one mark. It should, in this market, it will get you one quality player. But if you're really good and astute at your scouting and you find good value for money, which other teams to do, but we don't, 50 to 60 million can get you a good quality of player if you choose it right.
But that's saying that all these players hit the ground running, and we know signings. Some are hit, some are misses.
Yeah.
That's the thing. So you have to say every single player that I bring in has to be amazing.
Well, Simon Cooper says, if we only have 100 million, who would you want? So hold that thought, KG. Super chat here from Juicy says, we should sell McTominay or Fred this transfer window. There's no point in keeping both. Blue House Cox that plays in the Irish League looks promising, but I'm not going to read the whole thing because I think they're trying to do me over. They nearly did. Ash Milton says, Fabrizio said, we'll go for Sancho because we've saved 100 million from last year. Then our usual budget on top of that is 50 million. That's not taking into account any sales. So that's what Fabrizio Romano supposedly said. I haven't seen too much of that. Bryce says, just saw TeamViewer is also the sponsor for Lewis Hamilton and Mercedes F1. Does that make them cooler? God knows with the TeamViewer deal. I mean, we're getting kit leaks all over. That will happen. But back to that. I mean, Simon Cooper says there, if we have 100 million, who would we both want? What we can agree on is that I think it's safe to say, just before we answer that question, Simon, that on the Sancho thing, he's not coming. He's not coming because I as soon as he didn't come and we spent 35 plus million plus add-ons, whatever you want to call it, on Amad Diallo.
Yeah.
Pretty much the best part of 40 million, let's say, yeah? Just under.
Yeah.
And we don't have a lot of money to play with. We must get a centre-half. We must get a centre-mid, which James basically said to us, they're not looking at that now. If Cavani leaves, which I think he will, we need another forward. We need to hold on to Pogba and re-sign him and give him more money. If he leaves, we're in a massive trouble as well, because not only then will we need a defensive midfielder, but we also need an attacking midfielder in Paul Pogba. And we'll be in trouble. So I personally can't see that happening. But with the 100 million KG, who are you trying to see if that's all you've got to spend in the summer?
Say that one more time. With the 100 million what?
100 million you've got to spend in the summer because that's all we've got, let's say. How are you boxing smart, as James put it yesterday? Man United are going to have to box clever, is what he said, because they might have to move a couple assets round, plus you got the 100 million liquid. What are you trying to do?
Well, I'm trying to. I need to get Pereira off the books immediately. I have to do that. I got to get. I'm gonna get rid of Delo. I know people are like, "Why would you do that? Doesn't make any sense." The reason I get rid of Delo is he's got value. You know, he's one of the only players now that he could still go for a decent wage now because he's played us good. He's having a good season at AC Milan. I'm sure that there'll be a couple suitors that say, you know what, we could bring him in.
Apparently, they're open bidding for him as well.
There you go. There you go. So, and you expect that. That's what you want. What else would you go for? The thing is, Jesse Lingard. I think the door's closed on Jesse. It's great to see him back in a. It's great to see Jesse Lingard killing it back in the England side. But do you step backwards? I don't think we should. I think even that.
Well, let me put this to you. Let me put this to you then, as you carry on. Just quickly here, Darshan says, seeing Liverpool move for Konate already. We'll talk about that. They are ready to bounce back. City will buy a striker. Chelsea will go again. I'm worried, guys. And this is it. If we miss out on Haaland, which we already know we are going to because we can't score, we can't afford it. And Aguero's on his way out, which we'll get to. That's another topic.
Did you hear
and Haaland goes to City?
He ain't getting City.
If Haaland goes to City, may as well stop watching football.
Mino said he ain't getting City. Mino gets it very raw today. Mino has done another madness. All right. Let's just keep it going anyway.
I forgot what I was even going to say. Oh, yeah, let me put this to you. Mm-hmm. Let me put this to you that Manchester United PLC would keep Jesse Lingard because we would bring him back from West Ham, keep him because we haven't got much money to play for to, backfill positions and squad depth and stuff like that, and say, Ollie, you know what? Jesse's confident again. He's kind of healed. He's enjoying it again. We're going to give him another year within the squad, just because also we haven't really got money to get rid of Donny and get someone else or whatever and do a madness. It's very limited. We can only give you a centre back and maybe a striker, maybe of some sort. Other than that, there's not really anything. So you might have to take Jesse back. It's
expected. If anything, I expect Jesse Lingard to come back and try to play. The only issue is Jesse doesn't suit the style of football that we want to play, I imagine. I don't think it. Again, we're not playing through the lines. We're not opening teams up in that way. We're heavy on the left-hand side. It's Luke Shaw. It's Luke Shaw, Bruno, and Rashford partnership. Now, where's Jesse gonna play? Jesse's now playing in the Bruno position. What's his name can't even play. Donny can't even play. So Jesse needs to be playing consistently. Are you dropping Bruno Fernandes to start Jesse week in, week out? We all know the answer. It's no. So what the hell is he doing here? And then this is, again, when I go back to when we talk about the way the team's set up and technical direction, what's the plan? Because if Jesse does get a new contract, then clearly we don't know what we're doing. If we don't bring in a DM, we don't know what we're doing. There's so many different. And you said it, Konate and Virgil van Dijk. Imagine that at the back, yeah. And let's not mess around. Salah is flirting with a move to Spain, yeah. So they're gonna strengthen. Don't be surprised if Haaland doesn't rock up in their side.
No, they can't afford him.
No, but Liverpool, when it comes time to spend, when they will spend what comes in. That's the one thing you can say about them. If money comes in, they will spend it.
Or if they sell Salah for
if they sell Salah,
worth in this market,
something mad. If Real Madrid decides Salah is time, or whoever in Spain, because there's only two clubs, it's probably Real Madrid that you expect him to move on to. They will reinvest that money. So now you have a team and Thiago will get better. You know what I mean? He's not gonna be as much as we enjoy the banter, he's not just gonna be threading balls and he's gonna get better. You know what I mean? But Virgil van Dijk gives them a lot of confidence. So now we say to ourselves, we need to prepare ourselves for the next phase. And we are not looking at our team because Chelsea already look stronger with their manager. Yeah, and they got good players and they're probably going to strengthen anyway because that's what Chelsea does every season. Yeah. Then we look across to Man City. Man City, they're probably a perfect team.
They're going to go and get a bad boy striker. They will do it.
Exactly. But they're not going to spend more than 50, 60 million. So, but even no matter what, because of the style of football, they'll be great. Like, so let's not even worry about them. They got 1,000 centre backs, even got Ake just chilling for no reason. Like, he's somewhere. Yeah. So
got a big injury, yeah.
But I'm just saying that as in he will come back and he'll just do a John Stones and kill it. You know, like there's just so much power there. So then we move on to the other teams. We look at ourselves and we say, wait, we need surgery. Our team needs surgery. Is Martial? Do we give Martial another season to really prove himself and say?
We'll listen to this. We'll listen to this just quickly. Ivan says re-signing Pogba is a huge mistake. He will never commit and injury prone. We won't be able to sell him on 400k plus weekly wages. Red Devils Down Under says Palestri, Ahmad, James. The board will say we are fine for a right mid. I can't see us investing there. Expect a marquee centre back signing. I agree. I 100% agree with that super chat. And this is what I'm saying. Like, as soon as we didn't get Jadon Sancho and we spent that money on Ahmad and we're already stretched and we got other priorities, that's the reason why I 100% agree. And David says, yo flex. It's the Delhi guy from America. The Delhi guy from America. Do you guys think we can use Donny on the right wing or try to use him in the middle? I don't think Ollie will ever play him on the wing. I think where we can see that Ollie wants to play him is as a number 10, which
it's a mess.
Which is bad because Donny is so much more versatile. However, though, Donny in our system, in a 2-man pivot, with the way we play football, I don't know if that necessarily would work either. I know everyone's saying just play a good manager would play Pogba, Bruno, and Donny, but not how we play football. And I wouldn't like Pogba and Donny in a midfield 2 pivot with Bruno ahead. I'll tell you why. I think a better manager would play a midfield 3 of them in like a flat 3. You know, like how Bruno plays in Portugal, or like how Liverpool have it with, say, Wijnaldum, Henderson, Thiago, or Fabinho, Wijnaldum, Henderson, like a 3 without a 10, and make them all very interchangeable, make them all very almost.
And this is what's mad. You're right. This is what's mad, and this is what scares me about the future with this team. You know, because that point you make is perfect, but the only thing is, Ollie won't do it. You know, and then after you say to yourself, Ollie's not going to change now. Like, you asked me that question about I worry about Ollie going forward. Yeah, I do. I'm sitting here like, they're not going to give him, because I believe if Ollie has a certain amount of players that he wants, we'll get a different type of style, maybe different type of football. Yeah. But what he's doing is he's playing this team in the constraints that he sees that he has now. He thinks he's getting the best out of these guys, but it's a counter-attacking football style. That worries me. You know what I mean? And now I know these other teams are going to strengthen. Are we going to get left wanting?
I think the answer is yes. I know we've sat here many a time.
Contract. How do you do a 3-year contract then?
Yeah, well, I think he's going to get a 2-year with an option to extend. But look, what I won't do is forget that we're kind of going into Ollie here. Let me read out the super chats. Deepak says, I don't think City will make a big striker signing because they can do with a 50, 60 million striker too. Probably wouldn't even play all the games. Fair enough. Red Devils Down Under says it's going to be a long window. We're all going to be staring out our windows, sadly, on rainy days. And Mark Dobby says, expect a bang average centre-back rolled in glitter and unveiled as a marquee signing with a last-gasp 38-year-old striker. Oh gosh, you know what I mean. And Wayne Rooney says, Rice, Andre Silva, re-sign Pogba, dream window, but I don't know if Ed and co can pull this off. Can only hope they won't.
And all we got to pray for is we go into the market and find these players that nobody knows about.
Well, there you go. Exactly.
Do that if because I love Godfrey. That's what I'm saying. Godfrey coming in is nice. If you're
You
talking,
like Godfrey, innit?
I like him because I'm talking we need a player that's got a bit of pace, won't be too expensive, but with each one, and he stays fit. So you can see Godfrey Lindelof, it could work. Godfrey Maguire, it could work. We need pace so we can play higher at the pitch. And it won't be, I can't imagine it being the most expensive signing in the world. I obviously now buying from an English side, it gets nuts. But you usually say, right, you slap down a 40 million and say, hey, like, come on in. Why not? You know, and that's just, but again, this is just my opinion. From what I've seen of him, I just like him as a player. We can't do deals. Like, I know people say Varane and stuff, but then we just don't deal with Real Madrid properly. I don't even think we have a good relationship with Real Madrid after the De Gea saga. So that relationship's mashed up. We definitely haven't got a good relationship with Dortmund. That relationship's in the mud. So, and then how does Van der Sar feel towards us? How does Ajax feel towards us as a club? And all you keep hearing is how our business dealings are weird. Just how we treat maybe how when let's say we inquire and we just take the longest time, or I haven't heard from him. Tillemans was interested in the playing for United. He was twerking. Agent was saying the most. We never contacted him once. We're interested though. We're monitoring. Gabriel was interested. We monitored him. You know, like, all I want is a fit centre back. Is that too much to ask? A fit centre back that's fast.
That's fast. I was going to say that's fast. So Jao says, let Pogba go and get a CDM in and play Bruno and Donny as 2-8 so we can buy a top centre back and forward. #boxclever. Jack Mercer says, always check up on people. It costs nothing. Rest in peace, Claude. 100%. I agree. I echo that, bro, and agree with that. And Liam Deegan says, thinking of you, legend, Claude. Another contribution for Claude there. Big up, Claude. And Michael Vieira says, why does Ollie have to be the miracle worker always? Give him the support and budget to do well. It's obvious what he's trying to do. He has guts. He has guts. And I just think that the money situation is a bad one, because I don't think Ollie can ooze any more out of what we have. And yes, this is in defense to Ollie, with a midfield of that, with a midfield of McTominay and Fred for a lot of games, because he didn't trust Pogba a lot at one point when he wasn't playing very well. Then the injuries, but then when Pogba was fit, he did come in. But with McTominay and Fred and Matic as your three, mainstays of midfielders, you've got an issue there. With Maguire and Lindelof as your mainstay centre-back partnership, you've got an issue there. With no real answer on the right-hand side, excuse me, as yet. Dan James in and out. Mason Greenwood still learning, in and out. Ahmad now, we have to wait and see. We have an issue there. With a striker in Cavani who's not fit enough to play a lot, we have an issue. With Martial, you can't bank on getting 2025. We have an issue. With Rashford blowing hot. Do you see where I'm going with this? So
because we could, I hear you, but then I think, let me ask you this question. Is Martial just having a poor season and he will return next season?
I think Martial will always get back into better form and have another bit of form where he hits form again and scores goals. I just don't ever feel that he will score at a super consistent rate. And I always go off the evidence. He's been here.
But so you had a good, how many goals? What's he averaging? Because Martial gave us how many goals?
In his first ever season, he got like 17. Did really well.
Okay.
Then I remember him not getting near that at all up until only last year, where he scored 23, 24, his best season since. So and then the immediate season after that, we're getting what we're seeing now.
See, if Martial gets you on average, 15 league goals?
Yeah, is that good? That's an average, maybe. I don't know. Yeah.
The problem is, what happened last season was we had the strike force sharing the goals completely. You got like Rashford that got like, it was in the 15, 20 numbers. Martial, same as well. and then you had Greenwood in the same type of numbers. All those man's goals have dried up, bar Rashford. That's a problem. So when you talk about issues, they're there. And then even the Cavani thing, Cavani's just got 7 goals. As mad as that, like, he hasn't, and fitness has been an issue. So we can't. It's almost like Cavani feels like the Louis Saha days. You know, when you knew you had a quality striker, but are you available? And that's what when I look at Cavani, I just think Saha, man, all over. And Saha was the king of injuries. You know, so now you're as you said, it's issues FC because
you can see it here. I just thought I'd pull up Martial's thing really quickly. 15-16 was his first season, right? He played 31 times and he scored 11 goals in the Premier League. I know that wasn't altogether. I think altogether he got like 17 or something, yeah?
Yeah.
But let's just do Premier League because we're talking about our bread and butter. The following season, he scored only 4 goals out of 25 appearances.
Jesus.
Yeah? This is what I'm saying. Then the next season, 17-18, he scored 9 goals, didn't hit double figures in 30 games. The next season, 18-19, he played 27 times and scored 10 goals, just about got double figures. Then you have last season where he played 32 times and scored 17 in the league. And then this year, he's played 22 times and scored 4. So this is what I mean about the Martial thing. And I know you can't go... You can't. I know that stats, and we're in an era where we're too statified, and I understand that. But sometimes you have to look at the position and say, listen, as a striker, though, I need someone who actually is. If it was a guaranteed 15 goals a season from start to end as an average, that actually wouldn't be too bad. But I've just pulled out a stat of 4, 9, 10, 17, and something else.
It's inconsistent. It's not even. Yeah, but then
it's an issue that actually, as Man United fans, not every United fan, because some people are like, I can detach myself from that. But it's a difficult emotional issue to talk about as a United fan because we love the player. But when you deep it for the position,
but then we have to let's give him some credit here. He's played a lot of those games out on the left, but still, even on the left, because what's Sterling giving us, and he's not playing up front. What's Sterling?
Yeah, well, actually, someone said check Rashford. I'm going to do that right now.
Yeah.
Keep going. Let me just do this. Pull this up real quick. Players. Let me go to Rashford. And this is the issue, because this is the issue, right? I get it. Like, we can't rely on the players. That's what it is, right? So Rashford is pretty similar. 15-16 came through the same year, right? Played 11 times in that first year, scored 5 goals. Can't really judge it. The following season, he played 32, so he's full in. He scored 5 goals.
Yeah.
17-18 season, played 35 games. Again, full first teamer, scored 7. 18-19, again, 33 games, scored 10. Last year was the first season where he really broke the double figures mark. 19-20, he scored 17 goals. Yeah, last year.
Season.
And this year, it's 29 appearances in the league and scored 9 goals, although he's got like 18, whatever, in all competitions. We're only going off Prem because we're just talking about the bread and butter.
Then. So, but then you can see that.
But he's played most on the left. He's very rarely been a striker.
On the left, you can see that he's one of our top goal scorers in the team, in it. So there's different, and he's
never had a consistent goal scorer.
Yeah, he's got
Zlatan and Lukaku. Well, consistent goal scorers when they were here, they were.
I'm agreed, but year on year he's got better, and he's younger. So there's, even if we compare, because I know that there's this argument that says let's not focus on stats, yeah, and it's a mad argument because you need to score. Like, when man say stats don't matter, I'm not counting he ran certain kilometers. Those stats mean nothing to me. I'm talking, what is the main stat that we care about? What is the score at the end of the match? Did your strikers score, yes or no? That's the only stat to me that matters. Yeah? So when people say, oh, you lot are too concerned about stats, well, that's how goals happen. You need
It is. I have to be honest, okay, G. I do see a bit of a balance depending on how the team plays. I do see that, because if you play, I hate to use Liverpool as an example, but I do. And even if you use City as an example, if you don't want to do the Liverpool thing, if you play in a way that gets different types of players more often than not in a goal scoring position, the absolute die-hard need for that proper number 9 lessens. So you look at Aguero's not been fit for a while. Jesus is not prolific, but City are the highest goal scorers in the league. Why? Because they play in a way. I know everyone can't be Pep and everyone can't be Klopp, but I'm just saying how that it does depend on your system, because they get Mahrez chipping in almost double figures, Sterling chipping in, Foden would do his thing, De Bruyne would do his thing, Jesus would chip. They all kind of chip in because of the system, and it's just the same at Liverpool. If I was to pull up Firmino's stats and see how many times he's broken double figures and prolific, it would be probably how Martial's is. Martial probably scored more than him in that time. But the way they play, because you've got Salah and Firmino who really put numbers in, and then you get goals from midfield.
There you go.
It can change it. So I do agree with you that stats are important. But
listen, a goalkeeper, like, it depends. We're not Liverpool, we're not Man City. And the glaring obvious with those two teams is no matter the personnel playing, they're gonna play exactly the same way. If we change our team from, we have two teams almost. When we change it, it changes. The whole style is different. As soon as we change the personnel on our team, we approach a game totally differently. And that's just taking Telles in, putting Telles and like a Matic, and
it changes.
We are completely different. It's not like we have one style that everyone plays it from the academy to. So
and that's a problem. That's a problem.
So we can't go on that. We can't go on. So there's a system that Man City and Liverpool are playing to that. Okay, stats doesn't matter for them because the goals are gonna come because of the way they create their chances. We're not that team. Our team is a team that we need to finish as soon as the ball comes to us, we need to be effective. Especially the fact that we're playing on the counter. So
but isn't that the biggest criticism though? The fact that we have a manager that we're actually saying that.
But this is where we are. The funny thing is, some people are saying to me, I saw the comment, Ollie needs more credit and he needs this, he needs that. And I agree, but I'm saying to you that we are not going to change the board. The board's not changing. We can march all day. Nothing's happening. Them man are happy. The team finished in the top 4. We're still getting the sponsorship deals. Nothing is happening. The only thing that can change is probably our play style. Who can change the play style? The manager. That's it. Or they can invest more into the team. They told us already we're only investing 100 M's. Yeah? This is our situation. So we have to make the most of, like, almost, we got lemons, let's try to make some lemonade. Yeah? Let's look at things. Rashford's playing out on the left. It's up to you guys to decide if you like it or not. But in the Ollie side, he's got numbers. And numbers count. No one is going to convince me. I don't care what day it is. You're not going to convince me that stats don't matter. We need to score goals. Yes, you can say, I want a man to hold up the ball. I don't need my number 9 to hold up the ball because why we're losing games is we are not scoring. That's it. So don't tell me, a Mason hold up play, bring a man to the game. To do what, bruv? We still lost. So I don't know where everyone's coming from with this. Like he helps find Dan James on the wing, and then Dan James whips it in and nothing happens. But he had a good game and it's 0-0, or we come off the pitch. What are we talking about here, bruv? Strikers score goals. If you're a striker at our height, and when we talk about standards of lowered, we need to look at it across the field, because we can look at Ollie and say the standards are lowered, then look at our strikers the same way. Because a striker scoring 9 goals is not good enough for this club. Am I telling lies?
No, it's not good enough.
No
it's
lies.
And really, it's something that actually we haven't really tolerated before. Like, it's not. We've always had people who score goals, whether it's Berbatov coming in, whether it's Tevez coming in, whether it's Louis Saha, like players like players who can score goals. Do you know what I mean? I know we go right back to the Andy Cole York days, and I don't want to be that fan to kind of just go back to the glory days when we need to move away from that. But it is what the standards and the imprint of the football club is built on. And we haven't had that for some time. And you know what? I don't like to be that fan who says we should never have let Lukaku go, because, he absolutely, look, Ollie made his decision. The reason why Lukaku wanted to leave, though, let's not get it twisted. The reason why he wanted to leave was because Ollie came in and went, you're just not the guy for me. So then he started to play second fiddle. So as soon as that happened, that's why Lukaku wanted to leave. Yes, I was there as well saying, look, the way we're trying to play football, the attacks are breaking down when we're playing into him and stuff like that. You can say all that. But the truth of the matter is that we didn't play to Lukaku's strengths. If you play to Lukaku's strengths and take out that, come short and link up the play, Rom, like, you don't want to hear that shit. Like, get me turned, get me an on goal, supply me, and I will get you 20, 25 goals a season. Like he's done wherever he's been. Like he's doing even now.
Do you know what's funny though? With Lukaku, and this is when it comes to Ollie's style, right? Because Ollie wants to fizz the ball into the striker, yeah? And striker take the ball on a turn, pass it in, give it like kind of quick play, especially on a counter. If your touch is bad, we're not going to be able to, it'll kill our counter attack. So in Ollie wanting to play that style and passing the ball to Lukaku, bouncing off him, it was never going to work.
If Lukaku played for City, would he get 25 goals?
Of course he will.
If Lukaku played for Liverpool, would he get 25 goals?
Again, and this is it. So would
he get 25 goals now? Yeah.
Now we get into it because I'm sitting here and people won't like it, but I'm sitting here and I'm worried about Ollie as our manager going forward. I am, because I can see the deficiencies, and I can see the lack of investment that he's going to get. So I'm scared of him getting. Even if we was to win the Europa League, I'm still scared of Ollie at the helm of this thing, because the other team strengthen. And are we going to continue staying in this style? The only thing that might make me feel better, or Ollie can work it out, is if we say it was the interview that happened the other day that really made me feel this way. Because I'm looking at it and saying, okay, we've made changes at the top. Myrtle can look at this team and say, defensive midfielder is key. Defensive midfielder, centre back. Those are my key areas to think about. It's not thought about. So now you say to yourself, we've got a lot of talent here. The manager's probably just not good enough to guide this talent on. Do you make a change? Because now we're going to look at, and where it says, I know people like to back a manager, but then Lampard is a Chelsea legend. Yeah. Can we argue that Tuchel's getting a better song out of them?
Yeah, they're playing a better brand of football. They're not conceding hardly any goals with exactly the same team. Very difficult to beat. And what you can tell with Tuchel, however you say it, so far, is that he just needs to tweak the top end, and it looks like they're ready to kick on again. Now, look, football's a funny game. Football's a very funny game, and it can change very, very quickly. But you have to look at what's gone on since he's gone there. And I think they've conceded something like 4 or 5 goals since he's in like 15 games and stupid like that.
This is it. But then, so what's happened is, with the same personnel, they are doing better, and they're still in the Champions League. They're in there with a shot. So now you're saying, because I feel that there is actually some quality if the style of play is different.
100%. And that's not saying that another manager would win the league with this set of players. Because like we said, we still all agreed certain areas. If a Pep came in, he's gone, nah, I'm not having McTominay and thing. I'm having this, or I'm not having Maguire and that. I need this, or I'm not having that. But I do agree, would play a more sustainable type of football.
There you go. Then with a different style of managing, maybe you'll see a better I don't know. You maybe see a better Martial, a better Rashford. Because even when we're doing what was unfortunate with the whole looking at the goal scoring tally of these guys, you got to think of who we played under, and that counts as well. David Moyes, LBG Mourinho. Who's scoring in that? Who's scoring goals under them, man? Like a lot of goals. Them man are not even set up to attack. So now, how can we really truly look at it? The most attacking of those men has actually been Ollie, because we got our highest goal output under Ollie. That's not lies, that's facts. Yeah. Now, is Ollie the cream of the crop when it comes to attacking managers? Probably, definitely not. Not even probably not. Definitely not. Can we upgrade this? And this is why we're getting into football, back in it. Our international breaks ending, and we're really going to look at this thing. If Oli does not get the Europa League, and even me, I'll be honest, yeah. Even if he does win it, I kind of don't want to see him get the new contract. That's where I'm at right now. I don't want to see him get a new contract because, again, we need to be better. We need more. And then again, I remember I had a proper an hour 45 argument with a super Oli in fan. Yeah. And he's looking at me like, why are you saying this? Like, there's progress, there's this, there's this, there's this. And I said, I know what this club is going to do. I know Oli's never going to be given the tools, and Oli doesn't have the capability to squeeze more out of these players. He shouldn't be here. He's reached the ceiling. It's time for him to move on. He steadied the ship. Thank you very much, Oli. Can we get the next best thing? That's it. If I can say that I want a better striker than Martial, surely I can say I want better stuff in the technical room. And now when we say, Oli, go out and find someone that can help you make things better, you brought in Fletcher, bruv. Let's let that sink in. We need to be better as a team, and you brought in someone with a lack of experience. Now people say, KG, you're chatting rubbish. Fletcher hasn't been given a job. How do you know he's not good? Well, how do you know he's the best? What is his track record to prove he's the best? Mad. I
feel like in the last few weeks to a month, you've evaluated things in depth, and I think you've come out of it in this form, which is you're done.
Let's go. I can't. We have to be real, because even if we're gonna stay the same, and we're not giving him money. I know that no one's coming. Listening to James, and he's saying, "Listen, we got 100 mil, and then you got Bailly. We still got issues, you know." Bailly's shouting out saying, he ain't happy. There's signals from Bailly that we have to deal with. Yeah, we got what else is happening? We got Sir Alex Ferguson being cussed by one of our main players' agent. Yeah, that's a problem. Like, do you know how much of a problem that is?
Is it though? Because Marino, let me read out the super chat. Shane O'Hare says, if Oli is fully backed and he mucks it up, then yeah, Oli out. The man has only lost one game in 23. With an average squad, he is doing his best. He's not losing a lot of games, KG. You got to give him his props. Corey says, lads, can you give my son Miles a shout out? He's a starter at number 10 for his school side as a sophomore. Proud dad, drop a bomb. Let's do that, KG. Big up, Miles.
Hey, wait, someone in the free seats has said, KG, do you know what Fletcher's job is? They said he's a technical director. He's coming to make the football better. So when you ask me that, ask yourself the same question. Do you know what his job is? Because clearly you don't. Do you know what I'm saying? We're looking at this team. We know, Flex, we know what summer's going to look like. We're going to be linked to everyone. It's going to be the most amazing names, yeah? And we're going to be watching, hoping, wishing, and nothing happens. Now, if this club was smart, you got Rafinha at Leeds. We're not going to look at him. We're not proactive enough. We got like little gems around the world where you can say, you know what? You come in, give it a try. Let's see what this looks like. Nothing. Do you know what I mean? We are not going to make the serious moves. So now you're forced now, and I'm upset for Oli, but you're forced now to look at the manager and say, who can make this thing better? Is there a manager in world football that can make our team play better? And they're probably, the answer is is yes in it.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yes. Not even in a mad way. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you lot want? Because I want to see us win again. And maybe call that petulant because I want to win titles, but this is what this team was built up on. Well, I used to look at us with Real Madrid. I used to be like, it was mad. Like Fergie days, even after Fergie, we were close to them. We were seen as a big team. And Real Madrid would not stand for what we're going through. And yes, they are a bit reckless with the with the way they sack managers, but they have a standard. If it's lower than third, get out. If we don't win the Champions League, get out. Because that's a high standard. Now, when do we get back to them standards? Because you lot are telling me that just getting into top 4 is good enough. It's not. It's titles. It's titles. So what do we do to make ourselves title winning each time?
If you finish second, if you finish by laws of looking for season on season progression, big up Neil. Neil says staggering our board don't see an issue at CDM. And another super chat from Ben Thornton as well with a contribution. Big up to Ben. If this is just to give the other side of the coin, if you're asking him to have year-on-year progression, right, with limited resources, as we're saying that he needs better tools, and he finishes third, then goes on to finish second behind a Manchester City team that is what it is. Doesn't he deserve though to go again for another year to see if you can top second? Then, if you really want to go by that logic, because if that was another manager, let's say, right.
Yeah,
I feel like if that was another manager who just played better football but got the same results, we'd be happy. People would say, you know what, third, then second, especially if he wins the Europa League. Wins the Europa League, gets second. Yeah, man, let's go again. See if you can get that first. Like, I feel like it would be a little bit more. Well, the results aren't actually that bad. It
seems like he's getting us closer, right?
It does seem that way.
No, but then the question is. You're saying that, but as you said, you counted out so many issues with this team. So this team needs, according to you, it needs major surgery. Yeah,
which another manager would need it to have as well.
No, but another manager might even change the shape, change the way you play. Another manager might decide, you know what, Donny, you're actually a good player, and you don't have to play number 10. Another manager might say, you know what, maybe Lindelof and Thingy is not the answer for me, and I might need to change that. Another manager might say, you know what, maybe I should try Ahmad instead of Dan James. Another manager might just change things altogether. This is the thing. So we're talking about.
Sorry, just quickly. I think it's that. I think it's what Baron just said there. Really, that's what we've got to really remember here.
That's it. That's it. Because this is what's happened is you start to lower again. We've lowered Man United. We've lowered our standards, and we have to accept that. We're chilling. I think there was a time, if I said it to you, remember the day when we found that Man City got money? I don't know if you remember where you were. Wasn't that the time one was linked with Berbatov? Is that around the same time when they got... Yeah. I think
so. Around 2008, 9.
If I said to you that in, now, 10 years' time, Man United are no longer in the conversation and Man City are talking about winning the quadruple, what would you say to me? Say I'm chatting rubbish. You would tell me that I'm wrong. If I told you that if we get 2 seasons without winning it, 2-3 seasons without winning the league, we'll be like, wait, what's going on? Do you know what I mean? I remember when Fergie had that little drought and people were giving Fergie the side eye, like he had all them, like he hasn't got history. Do you know what I mean? I remember that because the standards were high. Now, me and you, bro, are talking about the Europa League. Understand that. We're talking about second Europa League.
What about the process? But I hear that. But what about the process of like we have to understand as fans that because you got to look at it like this, right? And this is how we really hate to look at this because of our era and our age.
Yeah.
Like when you speak to the older Man United fans, you have to remember that they were mad jealous of Liverpool because Liverpool were the dominant force. Man United didn't win anything for ages. Then our period came and we dominated through our lifetime and a lot of people watching. And then guess what? I'm not happy about it. But then football's gone another cycle, which Man City have come into it. Chelsea have come into it. Regardless of that, we're now 8 years going on towards a decade without winning it. The cycle has happened. Someone just said there, Ken says Flex works for the Glazers. I most certainly don't work for the Glazers, Ken. But what I'm just trying to bring to the table as just a different viewpoint to KG as a discussion point, I don't necessarily agree. I'm just saying, sometimes as fans, do we not have to say our God-given right? Like we have a right to have high.
We have a right.
We have a right to have high expectations. Hear me out. We have a right to have high expectations because of what the club's built on, right back from Jimmy Murphy and Sir Matt Busby, right up to, do you know what I'm saying? Now, I get that with what we've been through, but when you see how football has its cycles, I heard Gary Neville say it. He said when he was coming up, he hated Liverpool. Obviously, he hates Liverpool because we were Man United. But I mean, you look at they dominated for so long, and then we had to kind of topple that. So now we're and work out how. And it wasn't until Sir Alex Ferguson came in.
I'm going to ask you the question then. What they did though is they went for a manager at Aberdeen in Ferguson, yeah, and Ferguson obviously it got peak. It like
He got sacked.
He could have lost his job, yeah.
So no difference where Ollie's been.
Are you saying, Flex, that we should just wait for Ollie to figure it out? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not necessarily saying that. What I am saying is, though, sometimes don't be afraid to say this is going to be really difficult for many reasons, because the fall from grace of what we had with Sir Alex of having such an influential role over the football club, and you take that one piece of that puzzle out, the whole thing fell down. And our owners and how we've not recovered from that, spent nearly £1 billion, you know. Remember that though? It was £1 billion, and the best we have to show for it now in 8 years is Fred McTominay, Schweinsteiger gone, Depay gone, Di Maria, Falcao, all kind of madnesses, Schneiderlin, Herrera, Fellaini, Mata in his heyday, Rooney gone through, whatever you want to call it. The best we have to show for it is what we have now after £1 billion.
Now, Flex, understand this year, when Man United made those changes and moves, we were still a powerhouse in the Premier League. If there was a player that Alex Ferguson wanted, he could go to Newcastle and say, give me your best player. He signs. Give me whoever's great, I need him. He signs on the dotted line. It's changed now. These smaller teams, they have money. Yeah, we're competing with the likes of Leicester to sign players. So with the league, the makeup of the league is different, because Fergie was still able to point and say, I need him, we'll be okay. Our manager can't do that. And our manager's not the master. He hasn't got that tactical nous the way Fergie does. So now, not only is he not as good as Fergie tactically, but he doesn't actually have the walkie. So what are we saying? So you're talking about things crumbling. We're not acting as a big club, but we're still moving like a big club in terms of how much it costs to watch us, how much they're taking out in dividends, how much we're signing deals week in, week out. We even signed this new team viewish deal, even though it's less. Is that money getting back into the team? No. So what are we talking about?
Andrew Debba says, no manager can do better. Sorry. RB Leipzig and Man City are a culmination of genius management and vision. Tactics take a week to change, overrated. And another super chat from D. Bush says, Flex, KG, remind me here, isn't the Glazer that took out millions in share sales the same guy who vetoed the Sancho deal last summer? Yeah, it is. Brio has a contribution there, but didn't say anything.
You know what's no jokes? There's this guy here in the free seats, BVHV, and I think he's hilarious. He says, what does KG know about how the club... Wait 1 second. What does KG know about how the club was run before? What the F, man? Literally, every single take I've had here, he's had an issue. BVHV, listen, bro, this is my opinion, fam. I get it. If you want to have your own show, I'll follow you, fam. I'll even watch it. Do some talking yourself. I like to hear your points because you are clearly happy with everything at this club. That's just you, but these are my thoughts. And yes, sometimes I'm emotional. Sometimes I'm up, sometimes I'm down. Right now, I'm looking at the club and I looked at what James was saying in that interview, and it was very telling. I told you weeks ago that don't expect people, and we're already seeing that there a plan, and you can go by how we've been running in the past. We've not even January. We should be looking out who we want to sign next, what players we need to be linking ourselves with, and we're linking ourselves with players that already turned us down before. So we're linking ourselves to Sancho. Shouldn't we be saying we start mooting it now in January, saying we like this target, we're going to return at the end of the season, we're going to pick him up. Those kind of things. That's what big clubs do. They start working on deals now. Conversation should be happening right now if this club is thinking about moving forward. We signed Cavani last deadline day. We signed a guy called Palestri that's on loan. Ahmad ain't playing. Donny van der Beek been on the bench. This is where I am. I'm looking at the club and I'm saying, this is the state of play. Now I can be happy and giddy and pretend that everything's fine, or I can say, wait, what is going on here? That's all I've done. And
you're entitled to do that. I wouldn't get pissed off that, you know what I mean, that one person is doing that. I can sense that that's how he's kind of
I'm annoyed today. I'm annoyed today anyway. Yeah. Life has been, it's crazy. Today's not, and I told you before we started, it's going to be people need to respect my job. Got you.
Get that off, bro, before we get the copyright thing. Samir says, rest in peace to Claude from AFTV. Divided by teams, but together when supporting mental health. United 100%. And Brio says, Man United fans back in the day, when last did you win anything? Winners make it happen. Another super chat here from Maurizio, and he says, to be fair, it took Klopp 4 seasons to win a title. If we get second this season, then winning the title next season is a must. This is progress. And Jacob said, these trips to Tesco are having KG hurt, man. And you know, very, very quickly, there was a story today about Sergio Aguero. This is coming from Foot Mercato, I'm going to pronounce it, in France. And they were saying that Man United might go in for Sergio Aguero. I just want to put my opinion on that and say no chance in hell. One, do you think Man United are going to go for him? Considering how the fan base would feel about that, I don't know. I don't see that. But more importantly, do you see Sergio Aguero, after being at City for 10 years, about to get a statue?
Sergio Aguero get a statue.
About to get a statue and then just go across the road to Old Trafford.
Why would he be so stupid?
I can't do that.
Because again, he's loved by the City fans. He's an ultimate legend. You're not going to ruin that. So he's not coming to United. Forget about it. No one's coming.
Oliver H says, over this international break, I've noticed that United won't win the Prem or the Champions League for another 15 years. We will not sign anyone, so I don't get mad anymore because it's just normal, which is what KG's talking about, accepting it and kind of lowering the bar. Listen, guys, we've come to the end of the show. And thanks for watching. Smash a like on the video and subscribe, all of that good stuff. And if you are feeling down or whatever and things are getting to you, reach out to someone, man. Reach out to someone. Don't be afraid to talk. And that's not just to do with, you know, Claude passing today, because I don't want to go into that, but a lot of people are just assuming of the reasons how he passed. I'm not going to get into that, but just in general, I think regardless of that, just don't, you know what I mean? Don't be afraid to take things on, and don't be afraid to fresh cut grass says no one listens. And look, this is the end of the show. This is not really where we do this, but no one listens. Listen, bro, I hear that. Fresh cut grass might not even be a boy, but keep searching. There's always going to be someone who's going to be at the other end there for you. I know it could be lonely, stuff like that. And it is difficult. Sometimes it can feel like no one listens. I don't know if you're going through something, but you have to keep trying. And if you are in a position where you feel you're comfortable in your life and you feel you're good, like Mark said earlier, if you're touched by this and you feel down, even if you didn't know Claude, then it shows that there's good in you. And that's what we need more of in life. I'm a person that, like, even if other people can't stand someone or something happens or whatever, I still try and find a good in someone. Just out of having cleanness in my heart. And I just feel that if we can all try and do that and look after each other, then we'll just all be a better, easier life.
100%, bro.
So we're out of it. I will see you lot on Thursday, I believe, for my show. And then we've got a game on the weekend as well, and we'll be back out in national break. So see you guys later, man. Peace.